Koppel, host of the Time for Coffee podcast, where you get first-hand career advice into the jobs and industries that interest you the most. And before we start today's show, I have a quick favor to ask you. If you haven't already, I'd be incredibly grateful if you'd give us a rating and a review on iTunes. And if you're like me, you need to do it now because you'll forget later and because it's the best way to help others who may be in search of career advice to find this free resource. So press pause if you haven't done it and do it right now. I'll wait. Thanks so much and enjoy today's show. Hey there, Java Junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes, single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, Dr. Stephen Gundry. Dr. Gundry, what are the do's and don'ts of the energy paradox plan?
So one of the most important things that I've written in all my books, it's what I tell you not to eat that's far more important than what I tell you to eat. And so really what you want to do is get rid of almost all grains except for sorghum and millet. Get rid of most of the legumes and beans unless you pressure cook them. And they are entirely safe to eat. Get rid of the nightshade families like tomatoes and eggplants and bell peppers and potatoes. And get rid of peanuts and cashews. They are actually beans. And I can't tell you the number of people who cashews are one of their troublemakers. The second thing is, the more I can get you to eat for what I call your gut buddies, the good bacteria in your gut, soluble fiber and resistant starches. So soluble fiber is present in, for instance, asparagus is loaded with soluble fiber. All the chicory family vegetables, like Belgian endive, for instance, like radicchio, that Italian red lettuce that you see in most grocery stores now. Artichokes, artichoke hearts are fantastic. Jerusalem artichokes are another great option. Sweet potatoes and yams, another great option. We're beginning to see lots of alternative pastas like cassava flour pasta instead of wheat flour pasta. So there's great options out there. The second thing that I think is most important is that the more I can have people reduce the eating window where they begin eating in the morning and they finish eating at night. And I call it time-controlled eating. Some people call it intermittent fasting. But the exciting research from both animals and humans show that if you really want to have perfect early and long-term health, the more you compress your eating window to 6 to 8 hours a day, the more wonderful things that are going to happen to you. It's actually dramatic, the things that happen. So the good news is, you can have your coffee, black coffee. Don't put anything in it. If you have to put something in it, put medium chain triglycerides, MCT oil in it. But have your coffee and make it through to 10 or 11 or noon before your first meal. And the book teaches people slow but surely how to get to that point. I don't want you tomorrow say, I'm going to make it till noon and, I won't eat anything. You'll fall flat on your face. But go ahead and have your coffee. In fact, how we started all this, the ingredients in coffee maybe one of the most health promoting things that has ever been discovered. Ever.
Yippee! What is that?
So it's actually, I go into this a lot in my next book, which I'm just actually finishing up. But so
I'll have to have you back for that.
Yeah, there's some really cool caffeine. Does so much good for your little energy producing organelles, the mitochondria that I talk about. But the polyphenols in coffee also dramatically improve your brain performance. So it's not just that, you're thinking, oh, it's just the caffeine that's jolting me awake. In fact, there's very good evidence that people who have 5 cups of coffee per day never get Parkinson's disease and have very minimal dementia as they get older.
Well, wow. That is music to my ears.
So there you go. Now you have a reason to exist for your podcast. As if you didn't already.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to this latest episode of T4C. And if you're interested in learning more about my coaching services for confused college students and recent grads, feel free to check out the Time for Coffee website under the coaching tab at time4coffee.org or text me at 202-236-5712. That's 202-236-5712.